So welcome everybody to the Optimism Town Hall. We meet every Thursday at 18 UTC. It happens right after the Optimism Fractal events. It's a collaborative forum dedicated to conversations with optimism, the superchain, and it features an innovative community agendas or cagendas games where participants can choose the topics. So it's a great place to learn about developments on the superchain, help lead the collective, and explore exciting opportunities. Everybody can post topics on the snapshot space with this cagendas game that we have. You can RCP at lou.ma/slash Optimism Town Hall and join and invite friends. Everybody's welcome to join, and then you can post topics on the snapshot space. You can also find the calendar link too. All this can be found, by the way, if you go to resources at the top of optimismpractical.com. You can find the snapshot space and town hall topics. So we just met for the respect game that we do every week. For anybody who's not familiar, who's watching, Optimism Fractal is a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the superchain. And each week we meet and network and play a respect game, which is related to the tools that DOS is building. It also it has many exciting benefits that people here know about, but you can explore the website if you're not familiar. You can watch all the videos and so forth. And you can do a lot of decision making with respect too, which kind of leads into what TDOS is building. Everybody's welcome to join these events to collaborate with TDOS and many other builders at Optimism Fractal, and check out the videos. Lately, we've been making the videos for the town hall at the last half hour of the Optimism Fractal videos. So you can see those at optimismfractal.com/videos, where you can see all the videos we've been creating and all the cool stuff we've been building. And for today's agenda, so TDOS proposed ORDAO candidate for Optimism Fractal, which is the topic that has received the most votes. So you can see here, he shared a link where you can read more about it. I pulled some of these up. We also have an OP Topics game where we could play for other topics if there's anything else we want to discuss. But the topic with the most votes by a good margin is TDOS's candidate for ORDAO. So we'll discuss that. And TDOS shared some exciting updates in the Optimism Fractal Discord about this too that you can see. And he'll go through, maybe he'll share his screen. That would be appreciated so he can go and explain how it works. He's also asking for help testing the ORDAO mainnet version. He just launched the ORDAO mainnet version, I believe, today. So congratulations. And thank you very much. TDOS is working on this for past few months now and thinking about it for a long time. There's a GitHub repository for FRAPS, like kind of short for fractal apps and so forth, where you can learn some of the features that he'll go through and however he wants to bring it up. And we also did discuss this at the 28th Optimism Fractal event as well. There's a video where both TDOS initially introduced during their spec game and then also where I gave like an overview of it as well. So that'll be an earlier overview. I'm sure this will be a much more interesting and like detailed updated version too. But if people want to see the original version and the thoughts that gone to the history of it, then that's there. And TDOS also put up a question: what should he work on next too? Now that he completed the mainnet deployment, he's looking for feedback on whether he should build a fuller GUI for the ORDAO, share this presentation, which he's doing now, do more testing on public test nets for the Org console, deployment for ORDAO for Eden Fractal, respect Oracle or resource for alternatives, and improvements for OREC. He has a lot more details about each of these. Everybody's welcome to vote for the next day to help guide him there. And that's basically it. So TDOS, hopefully that was a helpful introduction. Hopefully it was a helpful introduction for everybody. Thanks everybody for being here. Really excited to hear more about this tool that you're building, this app, the ORDAO. And so I'll pass it over to you, TDOS, to present and introduce and share whatever you think would be helpful.
Do you think that it would be best for me to present, or maybe we could try to test the new app by submitting our results there? Maybe that would be kind of introduction too.
If you'd like to, it's up to you, whatever you think is best. Also, I gave like a very high-level overview. I imagine some of the people here haven't had the chance to read into it. I know you gave more details in the respect game, so perhaps it might be helpful if you want to give like an overview of the features as well and functionality before doing the testing. But if you'd like to lead with the testing too, then that's up to you too. Welcome back, Jorge.
Okay,
Hello, Jorge.
and I see Vlad wants presentation, so
I would just ask a basic question. What is ORDAO and why? And then we can go into the how. But maybe first, what is ORDAO in one nutshell sentence, and then why, before to go into the presentation, even into the presentation.
yeah, that's how I would. That's the only way I would think of starting this presentation, talking about introducing what is ORDAO.
Voilà.
Yeah, so what is ORDAO? So yeah, so ORDAO is basically, think of it as a code name, the same way that, for example, Ethereum hard forks have different names, usually based on some city names. So think of ORDAO as a code name for a new version of Optimism Fractal. I always said candidate new version of Optimism Fractal because community hasn't committed to this version. That's just my idea, and so I expect that community will first test it, and we will evaluate it, and then maybe start using it as the main official version of Optimism Fractal software. Yeah, so ORDAO is just an encapsulation of all the components of the whole system that I propose as the second version of Optimism Fractal software. Yeah, and one of my key motivations for this is the need to automate respect distribution. Yeah, and I then went on to generalize it to make it a smart contract that would enable execute any transaction, because it's not enough to just distribute respect to breakout rooms. We often make mistakes with our submissions. We often there will arise a need to sometimes change the distribution, like burn someone's respect or transfer their respect to their new account, for example. And a smart contract that enables execution of arbitrary transactions like Correct does, that kind of smart contract is the first step towards that. Yeah, so I wanted to fix this issue with automatic distribution, but also make a step towards a more powerful and flexible base for Optimism Fractal. And this also will transfer in this new version, the ownership basically would be transferred to the current respect distribution, not like it currently is, where it's optimistics. It depends on optimistics executing the will of Optimism Fractal through the MSIG. And yeah, and that's enough maybe of the features. Now, I don't know, maybe I won't get into all the detailed components, technical details. I will just talk about main components from the user perspective. So main components are the new submission frontend. As far as graphical user interface, that's all I currently have, but it's currently in terms of scope of graphical user interface, it's currently at the same level as our previous app. So the main work here is in the background at the base at the smart contract level that automates respect distribution and stuff like that. And yeah, so I made some improvements maybe to the front end, like there is a meeting number, and that meeting number will end up in the metadata of respect entities that get issued. And yeah, so I'm thinking that's what we could try later today if you want. And another key component is our console. So basically everything that I was not able, every feature of ORAC, optimistic respect-based executive contract, the core contract, every feature that this contract has, and every feature that I was not able to build into the graphical front end, every feature is available in the console. Yeah, so our console, it's the name which I give for this app, where you have documentation plus an object called our client exposed through browser console. So yeah, if you, for example, type help, you get some help text that prints a list of available methods, and see it has methods like get proposals. So each proposal is a proposal to execute transaction here. like method vote enables you to vote for a proposal. Here you get methods to propose different kinds of transactions. So this would be a type of proposal which you make to where you propose to distribute respect for breakout room. Here you could issue respect to an individual account. Here you would be able to burn a single respect award. Maybe I will cover later what are these other, but also another key method is propose custom call. So this is what allows you to propose any Ethereum transaction from ORDAO, basically. Yeah, and all kinds of methods to get information, like get votes and so on. Yeah, so if I type, for example, say get proposals, you would get list of current proposals. All of them I made currently. Yeah, this is a tick proposal, and this is a respect breakout proposal. This respect breakout proposal currently has a no weight. No weight is meaning amount of respect voting no. It has a no weight of 600 and yes weight of 0, and that's why it says vote status fail, because there are not enough yes votes or no votes. And how these states are changing, vote status and so on, it's all expressed in this diagram that basically describes the life cycle of proposal. So, and it's all in this repo traps that I can share in the chat. And I don't know, maybe that's enough of an overview. Now, I don't know, we can go to questions, maybe.
Yep, that sounds good. Thanks so much, Tadas. So that's all really exciting, and I think questions is a good idea. I'm sure people have lots of things they're wondering about. I'll just say too that I've had the pleasure of messaging back and forth with you for a while over the past months about this, and really thinking about it deeply. And I think it will really be profoundly helpful in many ways too. I imagine there's a lot to absorb for people. But yeah, I just want to put out there, I think that this is like it'll enable a next level of coordination while having decentralization, the OREC, short for Executive Respect-Based Executive Contract, and greatly improve the way we've been doing it Optimus Practical, as well as be helpful for many other communities that want to cooperate with the Respect game as well. So just want to express huge thanks for what you're building. Also want to give a little logistical update too. So as I said, we usually wrap it up after a half hour, but we did start late, and sometimes we go up to an hour for the town hall too. So if you'd like to, Tadas, if then there's no rush. If you did want to share any more details about it, or we can also have more time for questions too. Although, of course, I know it's late there. So if anybody does need to head out at the top of the half hour or at any point, then feel free to do so as well. But just wanted to put out there that we could extend it because there's lots of interesting stuff that we could discuss if we'd like. With that, Tadas, if there's anything else you want to add, then feel free at any point. Otherwise, if anybody wants to perhaps raise their hand or share any questions in the chat or unmute and just ask any questions, then you can do so as well. And the floor is open.
I just want to say I really like the direction this is going. Great work.
Thanks. Yeah, and I can't stay for another half hour.
I have a quick question about the terminology. So is a breakout room's output the 6 rankings, is that considered a proposal in this scheme?
Actually, what's happening at the backend and at the smart contract level is that the proposal is made to distribute respect.
Okay.
And the translation of rankings to respect is performed at the client side.
Okay.
So if all users are submitting same rankings, they will output the same proposal to distribute respect, and yeah.
Okay, so it would be something where like the front end that I'm building would submit the rankings in some kind of like JSON object. It wouldn't be like one vote at a time. It would be the consensus that's reached, and then that gets submitted as one object, and then this process takes over.
Yes, that's right. And I can actually show you how that JSON looks like.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Suppose breakout result. If for some reason it's not. Oh, here.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And you can actually try it right here.
Oh, yeah, that'll be easy to link up with what I'm doing. That's great.
Yes, that's what I was orienting towards, because there's a server-side component and blockchain component, so it would be hard for someone new to juggle all of that. So or console app presents a documentation for an object that basically abstracts all the details like this.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll submit that via the backend so that it can't be tampered with. The backend will grab the consensus and it'll call the smart contract. That sounds great.
But you do want to submit it through the account of the respect holder.
True.
Because the transaction has to be signed by the respect holder for his vote to be counted.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to make the backend propose it somehow or something. Okay.
Although you can propose it in the backend and then vote through the front end, but I don't know if it's worth it.
Oh, okay.
All right, sounds good. Great questions. Yeah, Tadas is looking for help. One of the main things he mentioned was he is looking for help potentially with the somebody building the Bullard GUI. He built that basic version, but this is the Org console, which is kind of like both the documentation and the web app that works with command line interface. That seems like it's very well built as far as the blockchain infrastructure for it. And if you, Abraham, want to build more of it, that'd be much appreciated, or other developers as well. I think that the DOS would appreciate it. And he also had those other things too that he's asking what he should working on next to that I shared. If I haven't or nobody has, I think maybe Tadas shared the link, but oh yeah, Tadas shared the link a little while ago. So you can find in the Discord and then some other places there, the GitHub and so forth, that you can find more. Tadas, I know you said you can't stay for the extra half hour. I don't know if you got to go right now or you want to stick around a bit longer, but feel free to let us know. Of course, we're open for questions too. I see Patrick's unmuted. Tadas, do you have more time for questions and stuff, or?
Yeah, I meant that I can stay for another half hour after.
Yeah, I will read all the link that you have put into the Zoom chat. Sorry if I will ask maybe questions that are basic, but there is this fractalgram that we use today to push on chain the ranking. So would be a link between this Telegram fractalgram app and this ORDAO or console, or is there client that could be Telegram? You will reuse, maybe extend your fractalgram to as a client of this DAO.
Yeah, so currently what I have set up to use this app the same way that we used the previous submission app. So basically, this app that I'm showing right now, it accepts URLs generated from Fractalgram, and you would submit the same way as you just did in all in the respect game.
Ah, okay. So Fractalgram will push the results through this web form.
Yes,
indeed.
that's currently how it currently works, and how I propose you could try it. Although in the future I'd like to integrate it with fuller respect game apps, because that could provide much easier interface than Fractalgram and not require an administrator.
On another second thing, after it's finished, there is the Fractal text-based app that Vlad is building to send text-based contribution. Indeed, I am thinking about possible link with this this app that you are building. That's just some talk that come. Vlad, what do you think about that? Is there maybe possible interaction there, or it is totally not related?
Well, it's related in that it has overlapping functionality. It's basically it's alternatives, basically two different implementations for a fractal. And from my perspective, this is very good to have competing implementations at this point. We have different trade-offs. I put very little on chain. I heard Vlad puts a lot on chain. So we can compare differences.
Yeah, a lot of calculation are made into the smart contract and not on the server with the Fractal text-based app. That's the plan. And you have also it's all based on Solidity smart contract. Your solution, have you things that are calculated into the server that you?
The core things that really the security things like counting votes, validating votes, it's all on chain on a smart contract. There is a server-side component for storage, for storing proposals. So hash of a proposal is submitted on chain, and the proposals themselves are stored in a backend component. In the future, I expect maybe to have some.
Are you using IPFS?
Currently, no. I'm just using a normal database. It's too much at this point.
I remember of the IPFS solution that you proposed at one time to have like directory of resources with IPFS. And I was thinking if it is still a component that could be maybe still used to store this in a decentralized way, the text, the images, any resource that someone want to.
Yeah, I'm still interested in those models that I was proposing, and in decentralized storage in general. Although as far as the implementation, I'm kind of disappointed with IPFS after trying to work with this. It consumes a lot of resources. It's very hard to use. The libraries are constantly changing their APIs. So it's very hard at this point to use.
Thank you for the demo. Yeah, very interesting. I will dive into and we will follow. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah.
Thanks for the great question.
Basic, but great.
No, good question. Worth asking, really. I expected someone to ask these questions. You should ask these questions.
Not Donbass. Smartass. Yeah, okay, perfect.
All right.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good questions too. I was wondering that too about the project that you're referring to that Tadas was previously building with Git and IPFS was called Firmament. People can find that more details about that optimistics.io/firmament. We had done some videos where you can see more, and I would love to see if it is possible. The idea behind Firmament was also really exciting. So if IPFS works better, that would be cool to integrate at some point as well. But yeah, appreciate the questions and answers and hope everybody's learning. Have a good time. I see Vlad, you joined on camera too. I don't know, being that you're also building smart contracts for the app as for a recycling app, as Patrick mentioned. If you wanted to share any comments, or if anybody else wants to raise their hand, share thoughts, then feel free to. By the way, Tadas, I'm not totally sure if you said that you can stay for until the top of the hour. You want to like go in the next like minute or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So feel free to let us know whenever you want to go. I see Vlad's unmuted as well.
I
Yeah.
meant that I can stay about an hour from the time when I said that I can stay.
Okay, that's good. That clarifies it.
I would say great job, Tadas. In terms of whether there is a link between what I'm building and Tadas, I agree with Tadas that they are like separate, doing the same thing, and I also agree that it's good that there is different experimentations. They are sort of trying to achieve same thing, so yeah, it's interesting to see how both develop. Yeah,
Okay.
I especially like the custom call functionality. I think this is neat. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Vlad. I have another question popping in my mind. There is optimism and there is base. And what I know for now is just that base has a lot of users and community and total value locked. And that's kind of also, that's use the optimism tech stack. And we can also go to retro PGF if we are building on base. So Vlad, your solution, Tadas. I always confuse with Vlad and Tadas when they are in the same room. I mix the name, sorry. Tadas, your solution is for optimism ecosystem, or it's also open to, I would say it's EVM based, so it's working for base or optimism. That's for any chain
Yes.
EVM indeed.
Yes, its main dependency is EVM. It should work on any EVM-based chain that implements standard EVM interface.
Okay, so you use Ethereum standard interface that are recognized
That's
by.
my term.
Yeah,
There is
what?
there is no official term like Ethereum-based interface, but yeah.
Yeah. We got
Basically,
it.
it should work on every standard EVM-based network. Basically, every EVM network that implements standard RPC calls, like for MetaMask and so on.
Voilà. So it's not it's agnostic EVM. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
All right, sounds good. Also, just by the way, thanks so much for the great comments, Vlad, and thank you, Patrick, for sharing all the great questions too. Let's also maybe try to just raise our hands and do it a bit more like a bit more orderly. Maybe just make sure that we have every chance to speak, because I didn't get the chances here. Tadas responded to Vlad too. So Tadas, do you want to respond to anything that Vlad said as well there?
No, I think we both agree on the same things, so nothing to respond to.
Okay, cool. Well, we haven't had a chance to hear. We heard a bit from Abraham too. I'd be curious, Abraham, if you have any thoughts about interest in building with this, or anybody else. Also, Carla, Rosemarie, Vlad, if you want to share anything else, Jorge, Will, Suede, then feel free to unmute or raise your hands if you want to ask any questions. One thing I can also mention too, maybe while I'm speaking, is so I think one of the main differences between what Tadas is building and what Vlad is building. Well, when Tadas first introduced what he's building with Fraps and the ORDAO before it's called ORDAO, he talked about how like there's two main differences in a way. One is the ERC 1155, the Respect 1155, which is relatively easier to implement, and I believe that Vlad has also chosen to use that standard as well. Actually, I'm sure he has. He presented that at the Eden Fractal event, which we released the video of recently, where he gave a preview of it. But I'd say the main difference between the two implementations that they're building, the different apps, are that Tadas is building the OREC system, which is once again short for Optimistic Respect-Based Executive Contract. Whereas, well, Vlad's also building a lot of different features too that Tadas isn't building, and he mentioned about being some chains, some parts being on chain that Tadas isn't building. Tadas has Vlad has a lot of really interesting features, but one thing that I'll mention that is like quite a big difference in the design architecture of these is that Vlad is building a system whereby a contract or an EVM account can be managed by the top 6 respected people who've earned most respect over a certain amount of time, if I recall correctly. Whereas Tadas is building this OREC system, which is really, I think, at the core of ORDAO. A lot of the things like the OR console and the OR node and so forth are to enable this OREC, this optimistic respect-based executive contract. And what this enables is for rather than having a relatively smaller council of say 6 people, you could have anybody participating to make votes with the respect that they earn by playing the respect game at Optus and Fractal or at other kinds of events that play or communities that play the respect game, or using any other kind of on-chain reputation token or any other kind of token really. And then there's a few different parameters, quite an elegant system where you use kind of like an optimistic quorum system where people can vote on proposals to do different actions on chain, and then it will automatically execute if it passes a certain amount of parameters. And it's set up so that it requires a low amount of participation relatively, but it requires a majority of that participation too. So that's explained much better in the OREC document and the GitHub that Tadas is up right now. But just want to provide that clarity too, because I know that Jorge was also asking about similarities and differences between Tadas and Vlad's implementation. And in addition to several different features, that's like one of the main core differences about how the how an account can actually be decentralized and how it can be operated. And both of them have some interesting trade-offs, and I'm really excited to see both Vlad and Tadas building different ways that communities can cooperate with the respect game. And with that, I see Vlad raising his hand, so I'll pass it over to Vlad.
Yeah, you nailed it in terms of the main difference, and I will just add here a comment that Tadas' system relies on. So the decision making is different. Tadas' system relies on the decisions being made by the token holders. So token holders decide through proposals what gets executed. In my system, yes, as you said, there is a council which decides which actions which actions are executed. So that's the main difference. Yeah.
There is also a difference, maybe, I don't know. I have posted into the Zoom here. The last point in regard to the wallet. In your system, Vlad and Lenar, there is no need for a wallet. That's use Privy, that creates an account based on an email, and you pay for the gas, and that's totally abstract onboarding. In Tadas solution, I want to ask, are you trying to abstract the onboarding? Which is the most pain in the ass thing when it's come about to join a system? So are you trying to abstract the onboarding also, or are you already made? I don't know. I'm just asking.
I agree. It's one of the main pain points in any blockchain application onboarding. But currently, I'm not thinking that far, simply because it's this onboarding procedure in terms of wallets would be part of a GUI solution, part of a graphical user interface.
Voilà.
And
okay.
I'm currently at this, I have built out only the backend and the blockchain parts.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Is there in your solution, Tadas, sorry, a reputation based on the ranking of the people? Can they receive an NFT of sort or something to assess their participation to a fractal session or fractal meeting, like an award or reward? So if it is an entity or an NFT, I don't know, have you thought about
Yeah, definitely.
this?
So each respect is a non-transferable, non-fungible token.
Mm-hmm.
Here, currently you should be seeing my screen where I show how it looks like in Block Explorer.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have an image now. A
Oui.
previous respect version of Optimism, we weren't able to do that yet. Yeah, and it has name, description, and also metadata. This
Okay.
metadata should be parsable, but by all block explorers and NFT interfaces. And yeah, it has information like denomination. That's basically the amount of respect that this award represents.
Award, yeah, not
Yes,
reward. Award. Yeah,
yes,
okay.
and it also shows group number, level, also period number, which is like a meeting number -1.
Okay.
And yeah, so it gives you all of that information about when the respect was earned.
Okay.
And in addition, these respect award entities, they sum up to a fungible token, non-transferable fungible token. So wait, oh, this is award. Yeah, this. Yeah, so here you see the total balances. So each respect entity has denomination, and those denomination that an account has sums up to these balance.
Can you just post into the Zoom the link to this Block Explorer? That's interest me.
Yeah,
or
sure.
I can do a thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing this. I'm really excited to see that you're able to get that to work with being both being able to count it fungibly, as well as I want to emphasize too the value of this and the importance of it. You can see some very nice images here for Optimism Fractal, and you can imagine too this showing up in all sorts of different kinds of interfaces and wallets. Like for example, Rainbow has a really nice interface, or Zora or OpenSea. So every time that somebody will join an Optimism Fractal event, this software is all open source, as a reminder too. As far as I remember, I'm pretty sure it's all open source. Then people will be able to use it for their own communities too. And that means that every time that somebody goes to an event, that they'll be able to see in their wallet or whatever other kind of app that's pulling these kinds of NFTs, and they'll be able to see a beautiful picture that can be crafted in a different way for each event, each picture, and so forth. And then you'll also be able to see how much respect they've earned in total, by joining a bunch of different events and by earning respect in lots of different ways too. So that's a really exciting feature. And also wanted to comment on the question that Patrick asked about the ability to use it easily, signing in with say Privy or something like that. And because it's all open source, it can be hooked up to a GUI, into a front end, into a user interface, such as the one that Abraham is building. People can check out the breakout room. Abraham gave a great overview of what he's building. Also, Lenar is building a front end with Vlad. So these components can be hooked up in different ways to be able to make it easy to be able to play the game and do different actions, while also be able to get all the benefits of all the on-chain infrastructure as well. I see Jorge's unmuted and saying something. Was something you wanted to share, Jorge?
Oh, no, not really, but I'm wondering, are there any plans for the Optimism Fractal to have a liquid token?
Voilà.
There are not any plans right now, no. It's something that it's been discussed a couple times. Like Vlad brought it up at a couple meetings previously, but we haven't really focused or thought about it too much yet. We don't have any plans at the moment. Thanks for asking, Jorge. And then, so Patrick, just
sorry. Yeah, Will.
Yeah, Will had raised his hand first. So if anyone wants to ask a question, I think it would be most orderly if we raise hands. Will?
Yes.
No, I think this is great. And about the comment about painting this beautiful picture, right? It's also adding to the reputation layer. So as long as you're consistent with that same wallet and you expand your footprint in the Web3 ecosystem, thus your reputation grows. I'd also like to see when this becomes a finished product, as far as what an integration with other reputation mechanisms are out there in the ecosystem, especially in the super chain realm.
Thanks, Will. I agree with that. And it is launched on the mainnet now too. So it is in a testing phase, but it has been launched in the mainnet. So we can play around with it. I know, by the way, Tadas, we have less than 10 minutes left until the top of the hour. And I know you wanted to test it too. I don't know if you still want to test it, but we could try testing it out to see how it works. And yeah, I also agree with everything that you were saying, Will, there about integrating with different kinds of reputations systems and stuff like that. It's a great way to build your reputation on chain. I see Patrick has his hands up. So curious to hear your thoughts, Patrick, but also want to just check in with Tadas too about if you wanted to manage. I think you said, I still don't have total understanding. I think that you said you got to go at the top of the hour, but you said an hour from now or something like that. Also, I see some nice comments in the chat too. Rosemary said, great work, Tadas. Thanks for presenting. Carla said, man, I have a lot to catch up on too. Rosemary said, this is new for most people here. Don't worry. So yeah, thank you, Carla, for listening. Thank you everybody for listening. And feel free to reach out with questions in the Discord, and it will take some time to learn. But I think that you really enjoy and appreciate these tools. So hope everybody's enjoyed the presentation so far. And once again, huge thanks to Tadas, as well as everybody who's helping to build these tools. Tadas, if you want to clarify, I think we usually wrap it up within the top of the hour, so we could go longer, but also maybe that's what you meant. Maybe that's best to wrap it in the next 10 minutes or so. And Tadas, I'm curious if you still wanted to test it while we're here and do like a live testing, or if you have anything else on your mind that you want to accomplish here. And then maybe after getting your answer, then we'll pass over to Patrick. And then if anybody else has any other thoughts that you want to share, questions and so forth, then we can have time to do so as well.
Yeah, I think maybe let's leave testing for another day. Maybe I will submit and then share instructions, links to submit in the Discord. So we can try testing like not live first.
Okay, sounds good. Well, yeah, looking forward to that in Discord, and we'll encourage everybody to help testing the ORDAO software. It should be quite easy to do in Fractogram, as Tadas said in the Discord message. Basically, it'll just be a matter of, I believe, clicking a link, and then you'll be able to submit it just like you normally submit it on Fractogram via the web app that he had put together. I think it's of.fraps.xyz. And so, and then also feel free to let us know if there's anything else we could do to help too. I know that in your snapshot proposal, you said you're looking for, figuring out what the best thing to do next. And you mentioned more testing and different things like that, feedback and so forth. So also encourage anybody to follow up with that snapshot poll, and just in general in the Discord, if you have any questions or thoughts and feedback for Tadas, as well as other members in the community. And Tadas, let us know if there's anything that we can do and we can do in particular to help in the coming days and weeks and months and stuff like that. Really excited for it. If you want to respond to that at all, Tadas, then feel free. Otherwise, Patrick's had his hand up for a little while, so we can pass it over. We also haven't heard from a lot of people too, so if anybody else wants to share some thoughts, we'd love to hear from you before we wrap up. I see Jorge saying, going now, guys. Love you all. Thanks so much, Jorge. Really appreciate your questions and hope you have a great day. I see Rosemary's unmuted too. There she is.
I want to say great work to us and everyone too. Great to see you. And I'm gonna go too. So thank you, and see you again next week.
Thank you, Rosemary. See you.
See you.
Thanks, Rosemary. See you.
Okay, bye guys.
Oh, is that Carla saying goodbye?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sounds good. Thanks so much, Carla, for joining, and hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I know it is a little bit confusing at first, but hopefully you'll be inspired to join again. Hopefully you can join the Respect game next time too. If you're able to join an hour earlier, then you can see how the software is used in the game we play. I saw Rosemary shared a link there too. So feel free to reach out any questions, and I'm looking forward to learning more about your work with BitSave and all the cool stuff you're up to. And really appreciate you listening and introducing yourself before. Hope you have a great day.
Okay, thank you. I will. I'll check, and then if I have any questions, I'll ask on the Discord. I definitely will be joining the next one because I really want to know how everything works. And yeah, it'll be good to see you guys in the next one. Bye.
All right, excellent. Well, thanks so much, and looking forward to seeing you then. And goodbye.
You too. Bye.
All right. So it looks like several people have gone. There's just the 7 of us now, and yeah, we have 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Haven't heard much from Swade lately. Swade, I don't know if you want to share any other thoughts and feedback on this, your perspective. Also, Patrick too. I know you have your hand up too. So maybe we should pass it to Patrick first, and Patrick share your thoughts, and then maybe if Swade, Abraham, Vlad, or Will want to share any other thoughts, or it's us, and then we can wrap it up in the next 5 minutes or 4 minutes actually.
Yes, you had go ahead. Or Will, as you want.
No, sorry, Patrick. I didn't mean to front run you. I said I'm gonna wrap it up now, Dan. So it's been great being here today, and maybe Tadas get a proposal going on the snapshot. Let's make testing a thing next week for the town hall. How about that?
Yes.
Sounds good. Well, thanks, Will. I'm excited for all you're doing with Kingfisher Media. Appreciate your support, and I hope you have a great day. Patrick, did you want to go ahead?
Yeah, again, that was an ID popping. When I see the solutions, fractal text-based app and the ORDAO thing of Tadas, very well made. Thank you. Just a feature that I think could be very interesting for your solution, Tadas, as the solution of Vlad, indeed. There is a component feature, a transparency layer, where the contribution being on chain and AI generating summaries. Because you do a fractal session, you do your you make your you rank the best contributor, and you repeat that week after week. That's a game session, and all those game sessions together at the end could be summarized with an LLM, so AI LLM. So into the fractal text-based app, there is this component AI, like a companion, to summarize the sum of all the contribution. And then you can use this summary and you can do a nice article for optimism, a nice article for to show the results, to show the that the data speak, that the data are turned into information and into knowledge. That doesn't just stay data, but that we can do something with those data. So for Tadas, I don't know if you are considering maybe to add a component like LLM to take all the data that you collect with this because it's about data, and then you can create a summary. So if you can embed an AI component into your
it could definitely be extended with a component like that. I'm not yet building it, but
yeah, voila, that was all folks. So
this sounds good. Yeah, no, I had a discussion with Vlad at the last Eden Fractal event where he said he was thinking about integrating that. So perhaps if we have some open source integrations, we could build some really cool stuff there. We're a minute left in the top of the hour. Tadas, is there anything else you want to share before we wrap it up, or Abraham or Vlad?
Nope. I think it was a great meeting.
Thank you, Tadas. Thank you, Vlad. Thank you, Abraham. Thank you, everyone.
Sounds good.
Good stuff.
All right.
Oh, before that I forget, Dan, I want just to tell you, we have built quizzes, AI generated. So we can take any document that you have into Eden Fractal or into Optimism to create a quiz based on those documents. This tool exists. We have developed that with Vlad and Lenar for EOS Den that is turned now to Fractal Den because we want to go more fractal. So I think this kind of tool, like we already discussed in the past, quizzes could be a tool very useful for all the content that you have into Hidden Fractal and all the content that you are collecting now on Optimism, because there is a lot of content, and quizzes could be something very interesting for the people joining those Optimism calls and etc. So yeah.
All right. Well, sounds good. Looking forward to exploring collaborations with the quizzes. Some interesting ideas there. Perhaps we'll discuss it at a future town hall. We are at the top of the hour, so want to make sure that we're being nice and punctual and stuff like that. So I suppose we can wrap it up now. Maybe we can go with the 3, 2, 1, go Optimism Fractal if everybody's up for it.
I am okay to go with that.
Oh.
Okay, ready? All right. Well, thanks everybody so much for the great event, the Respect Games. Zos, thanks so much for what you're building with Fraps and ORDAO. Really exciting about it, and excited to see all the collaborations we'll do. And invite everybody to join again next week, Optimism Fractal on Thursdays at 17 UTC. Thanks all so much. And at the count of 3, we'll go Optimism Fractal. 3, 2, 1. Go Optimism Fractal.
Yeah, baby.
All right. Thanks everybody so much. Really appreciate it and see you next time.
Bye bye.